Okay, guys, so for today, I'm going to take out another index card. I'm looking for my index card. So, the reason I have you guys have an index card is to help you with just drawing straight lines. So, let me get one out. If you want to use it as your ruler, okay, instead of passing out rulers, I think it's just easier to go ahead and create your index card, and I want you to, or create your graph with your index card, is what I meant to say. And then if you want to use markers at your table, that's totally fine. We're just going to do a couple graphs here. And then once we do these graphs, we're actually going to do the assignment a little bit together in this video as well. So we're going to go finding slope from a graph. And you've already reviewed what slopes are, which ones are positive, negative. So positive slope goes up. It would be on the graph like this, right? Negative slope would go like this on a graph, right? Zero slope would go side to side, and undefined slope would go up and down, okay, on a graph. And you have notes on that from yesterday. So for today, we're going to kind of go in detail about how to actually figure out slope is actually a fraction. So slope can be positive, negative, zero, or undefined. Let's write this down here. Slope is always a fraction. Slope is always a fraction. Even if your slope was 2, imagine your slope equaled positive 2. I'm going to say positive, so you know it's going to go in a positive direction. Can you write this as a fraction? Yeah, it'd be 2 over 1, right? So every slope is written as a fraction, every time, okay? Now, let's go ahead and plot some points here. So I'm going to give you some lines here and try to use these lines that are given to you to help you as well, okay? Now I'm going to go, let's see if I went over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, and I plot that point right there. I'm going to use a different color because I want it to pop a little more for you. If I'm going to go right there, and that line is, or that point is 1, 1. And we're good at points now. We don't need any review on points. We're good at knowing where points are. Over 1, up 1. And then I said, let's go over 3, up 3. Over 3, up 3. Over 3, up 3. When I say to the right 3, up 3. Okay, and then get your index card. And give me a straight line. So I just plotted 2 points and I drew the line. Plotted 2 points and I drew the line, okay? Now, on your assignment, you're going to be dealing with this a little bit. You're going to be doing this on your coach, and I should talk about that. Let me go ahead and get this paper. The assignment you're going to be doing is called Rally Coach. Rally Coach. So for Rally Coach, you literally have just done what you're supposed to do. So for Rally Coach, I'm going to help you with this. You're going to fold this in half. You and your partner are going to work together, you and your partner. And what's going to happen, the first one, and I'll show you how to do the first one. If I'm A, I'm going to go ahead and go, all right, I'm going to plot these 2 points. Over 2, up 4, negative 1, negative 2. And then you can use your index card if you'd like, and go ahead and draw a clean line. All right. Then, you know what you can do? You have to tell me what kind of slope it is. And you look at this one and you're going to go positive. Okay. And what you're going to do, A, whoever A is, whatever, we'll just call him Billy. Okay. Billy's A. Billy's going to look at Bella. Okay. Bella's B. So Billy is working on it, does the problem. while Bella is looking over his shoulder. And Bella's looking over his shoulder to make sure he's doing it right. When Billy finishes, Billy looks at Bella and says, "Do you agree with this?" And Bella goes, "Yes." And then guess what? Billy then has Bella work on it. Bella now does her problem, okay? Over 2 up 5, plots at -1, 1, draws the line cleanly, and then tells me what kind of slope it is. Make sure you draw the line and then tell me what kind of slope, okay? That's super important for me. Then you guys just keep taking turns. So Bella finishes her problem, then she looks at Billy. Do you agree? Okay, cool. Then Billy does this one. She agrees. Then Bella does this one. You go back and forth, and you also do the backside. Okay, cool. That's the first activity today. Now let me go back to our notes. Now, for this, actually at this time, the sub can pause the video and you guys can do this part first. Do this part activity first, and then we'll come back to the notes. So this is going to be a positive slope. Now, so hopefully your rally coach is over. You've done that activity. Now I'm going to actually put a positive sign. I know it's a positive slope, and I know it's a fraction. I know it's a positive fraction. You don't always have to write the positive sign. I think just as we're learning this to start, it's helpful. We want to figure out what is this slope. It's always a fraction. We know the slope is positive because it's going up, but the slope also has a value. It has a value, the fraction. And when I think of it, I think of like a staircase. Let's try to figure out what the staircase is, what the stair is. And what you're supposed to do, on positive slopes, you're going to go ahead and write this down here. Let's write this down here. You're going to rise and you're going to run. And that's for positive slopes. You're going to rise and you're going to run. What is your rise value? What does that mean? I'm going to rise. How many is that? 1, 2. I'm going to rise 2. Everybody see what I did there? I'm going to rise 2, and then I'm going to run 1, 2. All right? I'm going to rise 2, and I'm going to run 2. Okay? I'm going to run 2. And that's awesome. And that's a correct answer. Rising 2, running 2. You could also, if you guys already noticed this, 2 over 2 turns into 1 over 1 as well. So those both are answers. These both work, and they're both correct. But look what I did. Rising 2, running 2. All right, let's do one more graph. I want to do one more for you. Under here, let's go ahead and draw another one. Draw another one for me. And we're going to go over this all next week. Don't even worry if you're kind of lost. Not a big deal. Miss Santos will be back with you guys next week. And let's go ahead and just give our marks here. Okay. Now, we're going to plot some points again. I'm going to go ahead and go -1, +4, -1, +4. All right, and then I'm going to go over 3 up 1. And you should notice right away what kind of slope is this. This is what we've been going over a lot. What kind of slope do we have? We have a, don't worry, I didn't mess up my line. Looks like I did, but I did not. My line still looks clean. All right, now let's go ahead and zoom in. You know it's going to be a negative. You know it's going to be a negative. How do you know it's going to be a negative? It's going down. So your slope and your fraction is going to be negative. And for this one, you're going to start here. You can't rise and run here. You can't rise and run. So instead, you're going to fall. You're going to fall and run. So you're going to fall 1, 2, 3. You're going to fall 3. What does fall 3 look like? It's down. Negative. We already know it's negative. Down 3. -3. And then you're going to run 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to run 4. And that's what your slope's going to be. Again, we're going to go over this quite a bit. All right, so write down these notes. And then now your activity we're going to finish class with, your exit ticket, to see what your time's at. I hope you have enough time to finish this, but let's go ahead and go over this. This would be a negative slope, negative 3 over 4. This is a positive, up 2. You could even write this 2 over 2. Okay. Now let's make it even clearer with our activities. So for this one here, you're going to be given this. Do you see, if you look up here, you're going to write this as a fraction. Can you tell right away this is going to be a positive fraction? How do you know this? Because this is a positive slope. All right, positive slope. But let me zoom in here so you can see exactly what's going to happen. What are we rising? What are we running? What are we going to rise? And what are we going to run? And where do we start? We always start with the farthest left point. Like reading a book, reading a line, we start farthest left and we try to make our way. So we're going to rise 1, and we're going to run 2, and you're good to go. That's all you have to do. All right, let's do another one over here. So this one's going to be falling and running. All right, so we're going to fall and run. Hold on, what kind of slope is this? That's a negative slope. So that's going to be a negative fraction, right? Slope's always written as a fraction. So now let's go ahead and talk about this. Instead of this one, we're going to fall and run. Fall means negative. We're going to fall. What are we going to fall? Falling 2 and running 2. Okay? So those are the first two answers. As you keep going through this, you can check your answers. The sub can go over this with you guys a little bit too as we keep going. Now flip it over. If we look at these ones, this one's tough because you don't have any points. See here, you have your points, right? Now you don't have any points. You have to find the points. So for this one, let's follow along this line. Ooh, is this a point right here? That's not a point, but is this a point? Go ahead and give me the points where you see them. And then as you keep following, that's not a point. No, not even, that's not even exactly a point. Where is the actual point you see? I see it right here. So use those two ones. You know it's a positive slope. It's going to be a positive fraction. What's my rise? What's my run? Let's rise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's run. 1, 2, 3. 8 over 3. I went up 8. I went over 3. Okay? Let's try 10 together and then we'll finish up and you guys can do the best you can on your own. Let's go here. I think that's a point right there. And as we keep going along, try to find another. Oh, all right. As long as you find 2 points, you're good to go. All right. Is this going down? So it's a negative slope. And what's the fall? Remember, it's a fall over run. Notice it's always over run. It's always going to go to the right. So we're going to fall 1, 2, 3, and run 2. 3, 2. Negative 3 over 2. Okay? Do the best you can with this, guys. I know it might be a little difficult, but don't worry. We're going to review it tomorrow as well.